It was around 2 in the morning. A deep silence had spread everywhere. And I was standing alone in that deserted alley. Then suddenly, I heard a horrifying scream of a woman. The sound was so terrifying that my entire body started trembling. It didn't feel like a human scream. It sounded like the cry of a dead spirit. I am a photographer. I was always fascinated by scary places, especially the ones people were too afraid to talk about. One day, I was sitting with my friend when he told me about a place at the very end of his street. He said that during the daytime, the place looked beautiful, but at night, its appearance could make anyone's soul shiver with fear. He told me the place looked completely normal, but at night, a strange creature wandered there. Something that was not human. People said that whoever entered that alley at night never came back alive. At first, I laughed and ignored his words. But deep inside, I became extremely curious about that place. Eventually, I decided to visit it during the daytime. When I arrived there in the afternoon, the place truly looked beautiful. Sunlight covered the streets. Flowers were blooming. Birds were singing. And cool winds blew gently through the air. Many people were there, taking pictures with their phones and cameras. I also took out my camera and started capturing the scenery. I couldn't understand why my friend had described such a beautiful place in such a terrifying way.
But as the evening slowly faded into darkness, people started leaving one by one. Soon, the entire area became silent and empty. An old man passing by looked at me and said, "Son, leave before night falls, or she will come." I ignored his warning and told him I just wanted to take a few more pictures. As night approached, everyone had already left. I stood there alone, but my curiosity still refused to die. I told myself that I would return later that night. As soon as night fell, I walked back toward the alley. On the way, I met another old man who suddenly said, "Son, don't go there. It's dangerous." His words shocked me. I had never seen him before. He didn't even know me. So how did he know where I was going? Fear slowly crept into my heart. But after he walked away, I gathered my courage and continued toward the alley. It was almost 1 in the morning when I reached there. The alley was completely deserted. There wasn't a single sign of human life. Just looking at the place made my heart uneasy. Suddenly, a voice inside my head whispered that I should go back home. But I ignored it and stepped into the alley. After walking only a short distance, the entire atmosphere changed. Darkness surrounded everything. I turned on my phone's flashlight, but it suddenly stopped working. At that moment, fear consumed me. My body started shaking, sweat covered my face, and another voice echoed in my mind. When I tried to turn back, before I couldn't move forward. It felt as if something invisible was holding me in place. Then suddenly, the atmosphere became even more horrifying. The branches of the trees started making strange noises, and an unnatural silence spread everywhere. Slowly, I kept moving deeper into the alley. As I reached the middle of the street, my heartbeat became faster and faster. I felt as if someone was following me. But every time I turned around, there was nobody there. Then suddenly, a woman screamed. The scream was so horrifying that every hair on my body stood up in terror. I tried to run toward the sound, but I couldn't move properly. It felt as if someone was grabbing me. As soon as I tried to run, I fell to the ground after only 2 steps. I was so terrified that I truly believed I would never leave that place alive. As I struggled to stand up again, I suddenly saw a horrifying shadow spreading across the wall. It was not human. Its arms were unnaturally long, and its head looked enormous. Gathering every ounce of courage, I got up and ran. But because of the darkness, I tripped over a stone and crashed onto the ground. My hands and knees were bleeding, but fear had become so strong that I couldn't even feel the pain anymore. My heart screamed only one thing: run before it catches you. Every time I tried to escape, something seemed to stop me. Then finally, I looked up, and my eyes widened in horror. A woman was standing right in front of me, but she was not human. Her eyes glowed bright red like burning fire. The skin on her face was torn apart, and a horrible smell came from her mouth. Then she opened her mouth and released a sound that was neither a scream, nor crying, nor even a human voice. It sounded like a dead soul rising from a grave. The moment I saw her face, my soul froze with terror. Using every bit of strength left in my body, I started running again. And somehow, this time, I managed to escape the alley. I kept running the entire night until morning finally arrived and I reached my home. My clothes were torn, my feet were covered in blisters, and my entire body was trembling. When I called my friend, he said, "I warned you not to go there. Whoever enters that alley at night, she sees them. And once she sees someone, she never truly leaves them." For an entire week after that, I lived in constant fear. I couldn't sleep at night. And whenever I closed my eyes, I saw those same red eyes and that horrifying face staring back at me. I became sick. I had fever, stopped eating, and spent days lying in bed. Almost a month later, my condition finally improved and life slowly returned to normal. But I never again gathered the courage to visit that place or even pass near that alley. Even today, whenever night falls, I still remember that scream, those glowing red eyes, and my body starts trembling again. That horrifying experience still lives inside my heart. After that night, I never dared to visit haunted places again. Whenever someone talks about horror stories, the entire scene flashes before my eyes and chills run through my body. For a long time, my life remained restless and filled with fear. Every night, as soon as I lay down on my bed, I would hear that scream again and see those terrifying red eyes staring at me in the darkness. Because of that fear, I could barely sleep. But after some time, life slowly became peaceful again. Gradually, the fear faded from my mind. I thanked God and promised myself that I would never make such a mistake again.